Take two.
Take two. Take two. Two, two. Be back at 2 and 2. Take two. Ready, go. Okay. Continuation of this video, we are talking about transportation available out in the province. Actually, a lot of these transportations are available everywhere in the Philippines, but specifically in the province because that's what we know. So today's video is going to be complicated and a little bit of a test for our editor Joy. She's going to insert some pictures for you and videos along the way. Good job, Joy. Okay, so let's get started. So trikes would be the first transportation out in the province, obviously. There are trikes everywhere. Now, trikes can differ on the shapes and sizes they are. Our trikes here are not the best for tall or big people. I rode in a trike for about 4 months when we first got here. Back and forth to get groceries, back and forth to get supplies for building, etc. And it was not fun. So I was riding like this. And this was my ride for 4 months. And it was to make sure my head, every time it bounced, my head would hit the metal roof and it hurt. So I'd do this. After a couple of weeks, I started getting cramps in my neck from doing this. So it wasn't the most comfortable, but it got the job done. So trikes are available everywhere, and you usually don't have a problem. We walk out to the, actually we can usually pick them up right outside our house, but you walk out to the National Road, which is only a 5-minute walk, and you can pick them up going any direction you want. So give you a little bit of an idea about price. For us to go to the mall, which was it's about 10-15 minute drive, was about 200 pesos for 2 of us to go and 200 coming back. So 400 pesos total, about $7.50 for a trip to the mall to get groceries, do whatever we need to do at the mall. That's the main place to get this stuff, unless you're going to the wet market or something like that. But into diet, so you get the idea. So that was our price. That was what we were doing for the first 4 months, while we were trying to figure out exactly what we were going to do for transportation, trying to save up, trying to figure out how to get transportation. Because I'm not rich, and I wasn't really sure about motorcycles. Motorcycles the affordable way. So that leads me into the next one. Motorcycles and scooters are very popular here. They're affordable. They're easy to drive in traffic, so they drive on the lines of both lanes, and they'll drive through the cars, and they'll drive around the cars and every which way. And they're easy to park. So obviously a lot less room needed to park a scooter than there is a car. There's a lot less cost. So Joey's going to insert a video here. We just went through Yamaha today and looked at some of the scooters and bikes that they had on display. And they were ranged between 78,000 pesos and 160,000 pesos. That price in US dollars today at a 58-to-1 conversion, yeah, go US dollars, is down from 1,345 at the low end, 78,000, up to 2,759 for the higher end bikes that we saw there. So the prices obviously are great for picking up a scooter, and a lot of expats when they first get here just pick up a scooter. It's easy to do. Now, some of the reasons that I really didn't like it, we're in the rainy area, so we're on here in the Bicol, and we're on the East Coast. I believe it's the East Coast. We get a lot of storm fronts that just kind of hit us off the ocean over and over and over, even if it's not rainy season. Like somebody mentioned in a video comment earlier, it was a rainy season. We get rain a lot. So these guys are always pulling over underneath the trees and putting on rain gear, trying to stay as dry as they can. But we get downpours and these guys are still riding their motors. The other part of that is the dangers of accidents. We see a lot of accidents in our area in the province. It's kind of Wild West on the roads. You kind of do what you want, and there's not a lot of enforcement here in our area. So we see accidents with motors a lot, and it's dangerous. So motors dying, running into stuff in the middle of the night, drunk driving. So it's not the safest form of transportation. Which leads us into our version, or what we did was get a car. So if you get a car or truck out here in the province, you can still find them. We don't actually have any car dealerships here in our area. We have car dealerships that bring cars to our mall, to the SM Mall, and they tell you that it's gonna, yeah, we'll deliver real quick, it's gonna be fine. And that's what we ended up doing. We bought one at the mall, but it didn't work out exactly the way we thought it would. But they are slower in traffic. Obviously, you're gonna stand in line a lot in traffic because you're a vehicle and you take up more room in traffic, so you just stand in line. They're harder to park, so parking is a big thing here. They don't really have a lot of parking spots. There's a lot of just pulling over on the side of the curb type of stuff, but there's not a lot of room for cars. So you end up driving farther away and then walking back. And of course, more costs for any type of vehicle that you're gonna buy here in the Philippines. Still cheaper than I was thinking it was gonna be, and a lot cheaper than I was used to from America though. So you also have a lot more comfort. So I can turn on the aircon if it's hot, and if it's raining, I don't get rained on because I'm inside my car. And a lot safer if you're going to get in an accident, which nobody wants to get in an accident, but that's why it's called an accident. If it happens, you're safer in a car. So give you a little bit of info on our car, our specific car, and Joy will show you a picture here of our car. It's an MG5 that we purchased in July of 2022. For a grand total of 688,000 pesos. At the time in July, the exchange rate was 55 pesos to $1. So we spent in US dollars $12,509, which I could not believe you could find a brand new car for $12,000 in the Philippines. So I was blown away by the price. However, as I told you, I'm not rich, so I didn't have the money for a car. And most of the loans over here, so first they want you on a permanent visa, and then they don't want to deal with, so Joy had a bank account. I didn't have a bank account established here. And Joy didn't have income, even though I was giving her income for the monthly budget. So the banks here it's kind of a sticky situation. They don't want to accept it because it wasn't my bank, and I was on a tourist visa at the time when we were looking. So they didn't want to accept anything at all from me. So getting a loan from them would be hard. Not to mention the financing rate here is crazy. So the bank rates up like 30% interest. It's nuts. So what I did is I ended up talking to my bank, USAA. Now they wouldn't do an auto loan, and a lot of the banks in America won't do auto loans because the security, your car, is not available to them. So if you stop making payments, they can't just come and repo it and take it back and get the value out of it because you're not in the country. So USA wouldn't do an auto loan. They said, no, there's no way we're going to touch an auto loan. However, we will do a personal loan for you, and it's a very reasonable price. So we'll do a personal loan for that car. Just the interest rate's going to be a little bit more. So I ended up paying 11% interest rate on a personal loan, and that's how I ended up getting a car. And I'm still paying on it today. I think I have another year to pay on it, and I'll be done paying on it. But I have heard of another one, the Navy Federal Credit Union. It's the only bank I've heard of that actually does loans for vehicles outside of the U.S. Yeah, it's another military bank, unfortunately. So if you're not in the military, I don't know if you can get into that bank. But if you're military or were military, by all means, Navy Federal Credit Union, look into it, because they can actually do loans. I know of people here in the Philippines that have gotten loans through them for cars. So, last thing I need to tell you about before I let you go on talking about transportation out in the province would be beware of making used purchases, anything to do with vehicles. So, the problem is, of course, the person that's selling the vehicle is going to tell you, it's great, I've never had any problems with it, I take care of it, I've done all the oil changes, I've done all this, I've done all that. But chances are a lot of the vehicles, used vehicles here in this province or in Philippines, haven't done any regular maintenance. So they don't have a lot of extra money just laying around in the Philippines to do preventative maintenance. It's preventative, so they don't see it as a need. And if you've only got so much money, you're not going to spend it on something you don't think is a need. So be careful of that. If you're going to buy a used vehicle, make sure that you find a mechanic that you really trust and have them look it over. because you could run into some problems. And I know of some people that have ran into problems with used vehicles and used scooters for that matter. So be careful. You definitely don't want to end up with a lemon in a foreign country and be stuck with some debt that you didn't need to have. So that's transportation in the province. Joy is going to do some magic and put all the pictures in there and show you everything. And we will come back with another video in a couple of days. And there's a chicken outside making chicken noises, of course, because I'm in the province. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Joy saying I have to say thank you. I forgot to say thank you. So this morning we had 1,180 something subscribers. We are still getting subscribers, which is amazing. I can't believe you guys are still loving me. You still love me. It's incredible. I love it. We are really, really thankful. And each and every one of you, thank you so much. We are doing our best to answer everybody's comment. We search through the videos to find your comments and make sure we answer everybody because we don't want to leave anybody unanswered. So feel free to subscribe, please. Like the videos if you find them interesting. Share, click the bell notification. That's one I keep forgetting to mention. So you get notified every time we come out with a new video. But we're on a pretty steady pace here. We're going to come out every 2 days, I think, with new videos. And I guess that's about it. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Good job, boys. Good job.